Hello and welcome. Welcome to Life Clarifications with Natasha. And I'm so grateful that you guys are here and whoever's going to show up. And, it's one of those things that I'm just now going live. So I know that people take a little while to get on here. So, with that I want you to know that you are so appreciated when you watch this. And if you don't watch it now, watching it later, I'm grateful. So I'm going to say this at the beginning that and I'll say it probably a little bit later, but I wish that I could have over 50 people on my YouTube channel because I want to start going live there too, just there. So with that if anybody can subscribe there, I'd be grateful. It's one of those things, but it's we're all human, going there, going here. And that's what I wanted to talk today about was being human. Oh, yeah, yeah. And I know that I definitely have been human. Definitely been human. And, we're all just kind of watching and doing and being and going and loving. And, well, at least some of us are trying to be loving. I know that some of us are struggling with that because so many people are going, why are they making those choices? But yeah, you know, everybody's story is everybody's story, right? And we can only be where we can be. And, I'm live here today on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So if you're watching on Twitter, I do not get your comments. So if you would like to make comments, you can make them. If you can go to my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter, Angelic Clarification Stuff, you can find me there. So with that no matter where you're at, what you're doing, what you're going to be doing, I kind of wanted to talk about how we are all human. And I'm going to use me an example of this because I have been so freaking human lately. It's not even funny. And yet it is funny, right? And as we're going through life, hi, Cassandra. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful that you're here. And, I've been so like amazingly human. I don't know how to put it besides the fact that, we all are here, right? And thank you very much for the hearts on Instagram. I appreciate that so much. So with that hello, and also from Sunny. Hi, Sunny. Hi. I was so grateful for you being here yesterday. And hi, Cassandra. I had a session yesterday, and I'm not going to talk about it because that's private. But yet, I was so grateful to help you. And I do private sessions, and I love doing private sessions. I am one that I can talk to you here and give you information here. Yet at the same time, though me doing private sessions, I get into the meat of things and it's a little bit more personal. So that's why I call it personal sessions. But I wanted to apologize for anybody who was watching last week. And I don't necessarily want to apologize as a victim type of apology, but yet at the same time that, and this is part of me being human. And this is a perfect example of humanness. That last week, I've been really struggling with migraines. And migraines are something that uh, really do navigate with me. I get them at least 2 to 3 to 4 times a week. So for me to navigate through a headache, it's like, it's kind of somebody who has pain all the time. They just, some of us get used to it. We just deal with it, right? Well, last week, when I had my migraine, and this is what happens when I have migraines, is that my brain gets kind of like wired a little bit or miswired, and I say things that my mind wants to say one thing and my mouth says another. Well, last week I talked about having a new moon and the full moon and la da 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 da's. Well, guess what? We had a full moon over Easter. We're going to have this Friday an eclipse with a new moon. No, the 30th. Caught myself. Headachy today. Caught myself. So we're going to be going through, on Easter weekend, that Friday, we had a full moon. The 30th of April, we're going to have a new moon with a solar eclipse. And yes, I know I'm saying the right thing this time. And with that solar eclipse comes, and I know that solar eclipse is going to be seen more the southern hemisphere, but all those things affect us. And then 2 weeks later, in the middle of May, we'll have again our full moon. I had to make sure I did that. So we are all in this energetic, getting triggered emotionally, physically, spiritually, and a lot of different things like that. So with that knowing we're all going through these scenarios of emotions and all these things that, you know, we're going to be perfectly imperfect being human, right? And so many of us like to be perfectionists. So many of us like to think that we got to be perfect, and we're not. We are definitely not perfect, nor should we be perfect. Okay. And people may judge us, people may think of us as, like last week when I was talking about certain things and misspeaking. I misspoke about the full moon, the new moon, and that kind of thing. And when I feel like maybe I wasn't as professional as I wanted to be, but yet at the same time, if anybody watches me, they will learn quickly that I am very human going through this physical process of living, and that I appreciate those moments when I can be vulnerable enough. And this is the one thing that it has taught me about life is my vulnerability is my greatest strength. And not everybody thinks his vulnerability is his greatest strength, but I do, because of the fact that when I am vulnerable, I learn a lot about myself. And when I'm vulnerable, I learn how to be with myself. Oh, isn't that a concept? I didn't even think I was going to say that, but that's my intuitiveness working. So when I'm vulnerable, I'm witnessing myself so that I can be with myself. I can own up to who I am. And that's okay because our individuality makes sense, right? Kind of like when my husband is saying to me, and he's upset because I've done something, as everybody gets upset with each other because we live together. How can we not, right? But he looks at me and he laughs because he can't stay mad at me, right? Don't know why. Probably because I'm more this way than not, right? So with that as we're going, and hello on Instagram, I appreciate you watching me there. That it's kind of one of those things. So I am starting this new series on my YouTube channel. And if anybody, please, can you subscribe? Because I found out I cannot go live on my YouTube channel until I have over 50 people who are subscribed. Bummer, because I'm not quite there yet. And I have over 203, almost 300 videos on my YouTube channel. So with that I have a lot there, and I do post a lot there. But I am going to be doing a new series on my YouTube channel, and it's called Let's Get Tiggered, Not Triggered. Well, because I know for me, being the dyslexic that I am and going through my digestive issues that I am and stuff like that, that there are certain days where, you're going to catch me with not being as professional as I am here. And actually, I am quite, I have moments where I'm not as professional as I like to be because I am called being human. And today is one of those days I'm kind of choosing to laugh with myself, not at myself. And there is a big difference. Laughing with myself, not at myself. Because of the fact that I am one that is going to make mistakes. I hate that word, actually. I really hate that word, actually. I choose to use the word flubble. So my flubbles, I make flubbles. I'm dyslexic. I'm going to say the wrong thing. I'm going to do the wrong thing. I'm going to try doing the wrong thing. I'm going to, yeah, but that's called being human. And so many of us struggle with taking down that veil of perfectionism, or that veil of I should be, or that veil of I'm going to be's. And when we take down that veil of I need to be this type of person, it doesn't always suit with doing that with everybody who's in front of us. There's certain people, like i.e. a boss, or i.e. A critical friend, or i.e. scenario that you're just not going to be comfortable in. Well, we can't be vulnerable and take down that veil of this is who I am. I care, I have high integrity. And that's the difference about making a flubble and making a mistake on purpose, right? So I hold myself with high integrity, high purpose, high, I do have high standards for myself in my way of integrity. And yet, if anybody knows me for any length of time, they know that, oh, well, sorry, didn't mean to do that, say that, or whatever. It's like I walk up to a kid and I know that kid's name and I know it, but then at the same time, it's like, boop, it goes out of my head and it's like, oh, wrong. Okay, here I go. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But that's what makes me my unique self. And guess what? I did that in front of the class the other day. I was talking to some kids, and the teacher had to leave the room for a few minutes with another student. So I was finishing up what the teacher was doing, and I sat there and I misworded or missaid about 7 of the names, which I knew, but reading them at the same time of trying to say them out loud, that didn't go over as well. Well, I use that as a huge teaching moment about persevering and owning up to not being perfect. And how many teachers, and yes, we're all teachers in life because we all are someone who is watching us, right? It doesn't matter if you're in a job or if you are having children or if you're driving down the street, you're teaching someone, right? Because somebody is always observing you. So when somebody is observing you, you are a teacher. And when you're teaching someone, would you rather them teach them perfectionism? Because we're never all perfect, right? Or would you rather teach them a moment of, okay, I can be. I can be. And thank you, Veronica. Hi, Veronica. How are you today? Thank you for being here. So with that as we're going through life and managing our life and doing what we're doing, oh my, our perfectionism is just out the door. Kick it out the door and say, ouch, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Or, oops, I'll try to do better next time, right? So if we're going through our life and managing our life, we're going to always not be perfect about it. And I know I've talked about this before, but there's this part of humanness that is coming out right now. And I know that we're all not our perfect selves right now. I know that we're all because I know, Cassandra, you've been here before, and you were going through some major stuff, and I know that Bev is going through major stuff, and Veronica, you're going through major stuff. How can we be perfect when we're going through that, right? How can we be perfect when we're doing that? And that's the thing is that when we're going through major life situations, we become less of a perfect person than we want to be, because we're going through those situations, right? And so we may forget about things. We may say the wrong things. We may write down the wrong things. We may do all these different things that is causing a problem with the reality that we're trying to deal with, right? But yet that reality is not always perfect itself. And so if we can just be honest with some of this situation and say, "Mm, I apologize. I'm just not myself. I'm not my right self." And if we can do that, wouldn't that be nicer? Because that starts a domino effect. And sometimes when we are honest with our bosses, like our managers or something, and saying, right now, I'm going through a very stressful time. I'm having to take care of situations. And I know for me that there's been some personal things happening. And I really witnessed myself going, I have not told hardly anybody that I'm interacting with that I'm going through a major situation. And it's one of those things that going through life is not an easy situation. And if we're going through something, we got to tell somebody, because we're not our perfect selves, right? We're not our perfect selves. And being in life and being who we are, life is happening around us. So I'm going to take a moment here, and about the 4:30 time or the 30 time, I'm going to be starting to pull cards. So if you're here, please mention that you want to have a card reading, and I will pull the cards, and I'll show you soon what they're going to be. But I wanted to kind of make that notice. But for, like I was saying, that on my YouTube channel only, not on Facebook, not on Instagram, and not on Twitter, and not on any other platforms that I am posting on, Rumble and MeWe, that I'm going to be doing a vulnerable let's get triggered instead of triggered. And so if you can go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, I would be grateful, because right now I don't have enough to go live there on my own, on my phone type of thing. So, we're going through life. I mean, I would like to know how many out there have had headaches lately. I know I get a headache every time there's a bloomin' full moon or new moon. I get headaches if I eat the wrong thing. I get headaches if my shoulders and stuff are getting triggered, right? And or how many of you, your food's not digesting right? That you're getting tummy upsets. How many of you are having um, someone around you who is ill and maybe passing? I can name all those, right? I can name all those. And the last one who's passing, that's on their time, so I don't know when that's going to happen, right? But when we're going through life and managing our life, that life is happening around us, and we get triggered by that. And sometimes our brains and our mouths don't want to go together very well. And that's that imperfect humanness. And we judge ourselves so freaking quickly. And we put ourselves in timeout sometimes, or we put ourselves, it's like, let's get a, a something and beat ourselves over the head for doing wrong. Well, what's wrong or right? What's wrong or right? And half the time, our wrong is in somebody else's eyes, not our own, right? Because if we made that flubble in the middle of nobody watching, would we just kind of go, and go on, right? But because somebody's watching, we go into judgment. We go into pure judgment, right? And so, with that, being human, give yourself some grace, please. Give yourself some grace. And it kind of sat with me as I was going through this last week, because I did my show last Wednesday and I misspoke about the moons and things like that. And that's the thing, is if I misspeak something, please, if anybody watches, mention it in the comments. Natasha, I thought it was a full moon, not a new moon. I would be saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I would like to clear that up, because sometimes, like I said, when I'm in these mind moments where life is happening, and like last week, I didn't realize how bad of a headache I was having until after I was done. And so with that I misspoke, and I didn't know I misspoke. So we don't know we're doing something until we get recognized about it, right? And that's a tricky spot, isn't it? That we don't know we're doing something wrong until somebody points it out, but then we take it so personally when it happens. So when we're going through something and managing something, and especially if we're doing something for someone else, many a times we need to know how we can do it better, which is knowing how that we're doing something that needs to be shifted. I'm not going to call it wrong, but needing to do something that needs to be shifted. And loving ourselves through that moment is what the gift would be, right? knowing that we're going forward, being who we are, doing what we're doing. And I can tell you that, Sandra, I got a feeling, don't know you personally right now, but yet I have a feeling that you get judged a lot. And, I'm sorry for that, but you don't deserve that. So take one element out of that and please don't judge yourself, right? Please don't judge yourself. Because as we're going through life, if we judge ourselves too much, then that takes away joy, that takes away laughter, that takes away a lot of different things. And when we're judging ourselves and other people who are watching, I know you struggle with that too, because we live with critical people, right? We live with critical people, or we have critical people around us. And when we're getting judged by other people, we take it personally. And then we think we're doing wrong when actually we're doing not right, but not wrong, right? So be at peace with who you are in the loving sense. Because when we're walking through life and doing life, we're going to make flubbles. We're going to make other people's called suggested mistakes. But yet at the same time, they're not. They're not. And no matter where we're at and what we're doing and going forward and living our life and maneuvering with our lives, that we're always going to have these moments where we're going to be judged. And yet, we judging ourselves is the pain that really, it's sad. It really is sad that we have to be so hard on ourselves. Life is hard enough, right? Right? Life is hard enough. And oh, thank you very much on Instagram saying I'm doing fine. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Because of the fact that when everybody is I'm going to be me no matter what anybody says or judges. And that's what I want people to get when they are with me. Because when I'm doing my private sessions, when I'm doing my group mediumships, when I'm doing my classes, when I'm doing my live shows here, that working through life, I want to show people that working through life is walking through life, which means that we're all human doing it. Because I can tell you that at any point in time in life, we can be an infant in knowing something. We don't know something. Like the first time we go into a job, the first day we're on our job, do you think that we're going to be the elder person or the newbie, the new kid on the block? The new kid in school. And yet we're judging ourselves like we should be the one that has that should be the elder, the knower, the beer. No. No. So giving ourselves a chance to be where we're at, going where we're at, who we are, we're all about love. We're all about grace. So start here with grace. Start here with grace. And like when I have a really good friend, she proofs my video, or she proofs my wording for me, because of the fact that I very dyslexic, by the way, and so she proofs to make sure my newsletters are good and that kind of thing. And so she was watching my video last time, and she says, "Natasha, you did this," and I go, "Thank you for letting me know. I wish you would have told me because I knew you were there. Thank you. I wish you would have told me." Because I have learned that the more that I know I'm doing, the better off I can do better later. Right? I can do better later. Like I work in elementary school in the morning, and I love teaching kids how to read. Uh, and And it was interesting how I wrote up some things on a board, and the principal walks in, right? and, and this principal, wonderful, looks at what I wrote and says, "Natasha, do you mind if I fix some of these things?" I said, "Sure, please do." Did I do right? Did I write some? I didn't know I wrote a word wrong. She goes, "Yeah, just this word, and this word." right? And so as I had these kids who I was teaching how to write and some reading, do you know what? Now I know how to spell those words better because somebody told me I was doing not as well as I should. And if I didn't know this, then how can I do teach you better, right? And so I appreciated the principal coming in and showing me how to do better. And I've learned that. And you know what the principal said? Natasha, thank you. Thank you very much for letting me doing this for you. And so then that changed her world, right? Um, I said, you do know you're teaching me. I'm talking something for you, or I'm taking something from you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you on Instagram. I appreciate your comments and I appreciate this interaction that you have too on Instagram. I know that a lot of people come on and watch, but thank you for interacting because that's one thing that I am wanting to do is that I know I'm a teacher of life. Maybe it's just how to be human. Maybe my teaching is how to be human because the fact that no matter where I'm at or what I'm doing, life is going on around me and I have to interact with it. And many times we have to react to it. Now, like I was talking with somebody today, a teacher, and she was like, God, I'm feeling so disorganized. I don't know how to do this. I don't know. And I said, you know what? You have a classroom right now that you are having to react to many personalities. And so you end up putting something down because you have to interact with what's going on instead and react to it. And she says, oh, that's true. So there again, instead of judging herself, she actually heard me in a non-judgmental way, giving her a purpose of why things are happening. I said, you know what I would do? I would just make 2 drop spots. That way, if you go looking for papers, you have 2 spots you can go look for them, right? Make it so that you can manage your life. No, but you know that you have a mom that way, and I'm taking something. Hearing this is important for me to understand. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry if I didn't read that right well, but I'm kind of so on Instagram. Uh, Somebody has written 6113 Bob. No, but do you know you have a mom that way? I'm taking something for you. I'm hearing something for you very important for me to understand. And, you know, on Instagram, I get a lot of followers, thank you, who English is their second language, and I honor you for that, if that's the situation. So with that, you know, when we're going through life and managing our life, life is going on. And, you know, we come from many of us adults who are very trying to make sure that we always are doing the better we can. We're doing the right thing the right way. We're going to do it the right way, right? I'm going to tell you, this is the generation, wherever you're at in your generation, could be 70, could be 13, whatever you're at in your generation, please take a hold of the understanding that I am going to start being me. I'm going to start being me, and me. Whoever you are. And if that's going to be lovingly perfect and perfect, be it. Because no matter where we're at, where we're going, we are in a generation that really hasn't had to go forward like this since a lot of our family members came over from who, if you live in America, that came over to the Americas on boats and started for the first time, or come across the country for the first time, or embarked. I know there's like Ukraine used to be part of Russia, and they had to become their own country for, you know, now they want to go back. I'm not going to go there, otherwise I'm going to be in that mode, and I don't want to go there because my love goes to them and I pray for them minute by minute. Sometimes, some days, some moments, other moments, it's 5 minutes apart. So with that as we're going forward, there's a lot of new countries that are trying to start new, right? There's tribes and in South America that are trying to start new, getting out of the old and starting new. And I know this COVID thing has shaken up everyone and is trying to do better. And yet we're being so hard on ourselves. Blessings to you on your journey. Blessings to you on your journey. Because no matter where you're at, what you're doing, you're perfectly imperfect. Just like nature. Nature's perfectly imperfect, right? We're going to be perfectly imperfect. And being that perfectly imperfect person, can you imagine if somebody's witnessing us? At first, their interaction out of habit might be judgment. But I can tell you that when I kind of go, oops, sorry guys, let me try to do better. I apologize. Let me try to do better. And let's see. Now, and then I'll ask somebody who knows how to know that name because, like in that classroom, each other knows each other's names, right? And I can tell you when I said a kid's name in that example that I gave in the classroom, I looked in the child's eyes and I say, I apologize. I know your name. I know your name and I apologize. For me to read it and to know it are two different things, and I apologize. Because of the fact that when you're going through life and doing our living, going through process, life is happening. So may you have peace and may you have tranquility and knowing that life is happening around us and we're in the midst of it. So if you're going through life and managing our life, we're going to be in these moments. I know, like I said, a lot of us are going through life-altering experiences right now. And how can we be perfect? How can we be perfect? Blessings to you. So at this point of my show, I would like to pull cards. So on Instagram, if you are watching and you just came on, I'm Natasha Venter. I at angelicclarifications.com. And if you go to my channel on Instagram, it's Natasha Venter 11. And you can follow me there. If you would like to go to my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter Angelic Clarifications, that you can catch me there. And please subscribe wherever you're watching, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And on Twitter, if you want to make a comment, please go to my YouTube channel because I do not get your comments that way. Okay, so now I'm going to step aside. Being the human that I am, I did not do that very cleanly, did I? So when you are in a session with me, I do hold up to being a voice for the universe. But today, talking about being human, I kind of asked Spirit to let me just be me today. And this is me. This is me in all flubbery. Flubbery. Okay. So my cards today are the angel cards. And these are Doreen Virtue's angel cards. And they're very wonderful. I'm going to do Path of the Soul. And these cards are just magnificent. These cards are just magnificent. Okay, if you'd like a card. I'm also going to do Wisdom of the Avalon. And I love these cards. These are actually one of my favorite decks that I do. And these are the ones where you can get, there's different cards for different meanings. So if you would like a card, Your Facebook name is? It's Natasha Venter Angelic Clarifications. That's my face. That's my Facebook name. So if you'd like a card reading, please put up which one you would like. Would you like the Wisdom of the Avalon, the Angel cards, or Path of the Soul cards? A reading, please. The Soul deck. The Soul deck. Thank you. Yes, the card reading, the soul deck. Thank you. You're very welcome, Veronica. You're very welcome. Okay, so the Path of Soul, Veronica on Facebook and Instagram, or on and on YouTube would like the Path of the Soul card. Woo! Did you see that? That card literally jumped out. Ooh, 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 ooh. Veronica, very beautiful, very beautiful. It's like going into another world, isn't it? It's like going into another world. Isn't that beautiful? It's almost like an egg, it's that beginning of an egg. So I will read this. This is number 9. Ooh, 9. Endings for new beginnings. 9. Light within. Light within. So the light within. So this is what I'm going to read, Veronica. Okay. You are awakening to your inner light and opening a new level of spiritual understanding and awareness. Guides and teachers are working with you to assist in your awakening. Support is coming in the human form as well. Those who are knowledgeable and experienced will be there to offer their support as needed. The main color of green in this card shows that to know our inner light is to know our inner heart. Enjoy the experience, stay connected, and the rest will happen naturally. And that's the thing about life is that our heart chakra is both green and pink. It's usually the color of pink with the green, or the green with the pink around. It depends on who you are. And so that's about being your inner light. I hope that helps, Veronica, because you are embarking. I have witnessed Veronica for the last many years here. She's been a client of mine and a very dear friend now, that you have just become this amazing being. And I am just so proud of you in the imperfectness that you've been. Okay, so Bev, Sunny wants a fairy card, and I would like your choice for me. Oh, okay. So a fairy card. I did not say fairy card, but I will pull out these fairies. So these fairies. So Sunny wants a fairy card. I wish I would have pulled cards for you yesterday, Sunny. I really wish I would have. So I'm gonna do Sunny first. Okay, so Sunny, if you would like to have when I'm doing a card reading, what I like you to do is put an intention out there. You don't have to say in the post about what you would like, but put an intention. If you have a question, or if you would just like to put out there, what would the fairies like to tell me? Okay, so putting out the intention, and then that helps the cards through me to bring forward what the message is for you. So as I'm going to start shuffling here, so Sunny, put out your intention. This is for you. What do the fairies, they're loving you. You like to tease you. They're telling me, the fairies are telling me, the fae are telling me that you take life too serious sometimes. And so giggle a little bit more. Play some music that is not always so one-sided, they say. They want you to be a little bit more diverse. diverse in you so that you can have diversity in what's coming for you. So when you learn to like other things, you'll like what's coming to you a little bit more, if that makes any sense. So with that, those who just joined me on Instagram, if you would like a card reading, I have the Fairy deck, the Wisdom of the Avalon deck, Path of the Soul, or the Angels. So the fairies want to tell Sunny, whoa, get some exercise. Get some exercise. Get some exercise. They are saying, as your body becomes stronger, you begin to feel stronger in all ways. Okay. So that's one. And actually, Sunny, I feel like there's 2 cards for you. Ah! Well, that just about worked, didn't it? All my decks fell. Or not all my decks, but the Avalon deck just fell. Let's see. So the next card would be, I'm feeling like it's right here for you, Sunny. There's this one here. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. So the perfect timing, this is the right time for you to move forward. For you to move forward. And Sunny, this card I'm feeling like I need to read, because the first one was about getting exercise. So movement causes movement, right? So perfect timing. Perfect timing. You are wondering when your desire will be fulfilled, or when the best moment to make a change. The answer is now. The universe energies have aligned perfectly and have opened a gateway for you to easily step through. This is one of those times in life when you're on a roll and everything you touch turns to gold. Take advantage of divine timing and make your move. Any additional preparation at this time would be akin to procrastination. Take one step at a time and move forward today. Take one step at a time and move forward. We talked a lot yesterday about that, and I want you to know that as the energy is riding, so because we're in the middle of this full moon riding to the new moon, so the full moon's about endings, and the new moon's about new beginnings, and the eclipse is about breaking through. So ride this energy, Sunny. Ride this energy so that you can be. Now remember, though, it takes one step at a time, and sometimes those steps are like inching our toes forward. Okay, so don't necessarily need to leap, but even just a phone call will help. Even a phone call will help. Get some exercise, because movement will happen. So exercise means maybe get up and dance with a good song or something like that, right? Okay. So is there anybody else who would like a card reading? I guess the Avalon deck, Wisdom of the Avalon deck, didn't want to do it. So here's the Path of the Soul. That one's a good one. The Angel deck or the Fairy deck. And I hope, so Bev, a choice for me. Path of the Soul, it is. The Path of the Soul. It is for you, Bev. So put your intention out there, Bev, for yours. And Cassandra, if you're watching, would you like me to pull a card for you, since you made a comment earlier in the show? So put your intention in. There you go, Bev. Thank you. What would you like to know? And I want you to know that all your loved ones that have passed are being held with love. Are being held with love. They've gone through the transformation well, and they're being loved. Okay, so Bev. Okay, as I'm pulling cards, this one card, wow, is calling out to me. This card is pulling out to me. There's another one. Ooh. 22. 22 is a master number. Isn't that pretty, Bev? So you get 2 cards, Bev. You get 2 cards. These are oracle cards. So you get 22 and 2. Huh, 22 and 2. So 2, I always picture 2. It's like 1 is about new beginnings, starting new. 2 is about, like, if you picture a plant in the ground. So 1 is about putting the plant in the ground, getting it started, getting it watered and fed. Number 2 is the roots are down and moving out. It's getting good and grounded. So 2 is about that, getting grounded, getting what you started in number 1 moving forward. And the 22 is a master number, and that's about getting, it's really going to happen, right? Okay, so we're going to read number 2. Encoded. This one's encoded, Bev. Where others see nothing, you can see the deeper meaning in the message hidden within. Your guides are working to communicate with you as your intuition and inner knowings expand. Be mindful of all that you are experiencing in this moment. Be aware of animal messages, cloud formations, colors, conversations of others, and anything else that catches your attention. You are taking the next step up in awareness and connection of the unseen worlds. It's beautiful, isn't it? So the master number, number 22. 22. These cards are just beautiful. I love it when the universe helps me read. Cosmos of the heart. Cosmos of the heart. You are now beginning. Let me start that over again. You are now being called to embark on a new path in your journey. This is an inner path. It is a path of your heart. It is here where you are discovering your greatest strength of all, that deeper connection to your higher self and inner guidance. Others may be surprised by your choices. They may not react strongly with them. Do not allow this to stop you. Send those individuals loving energy and continue on letting your heart direct your way. Take note of the synchronistic events occurring around you as life unfolds in its own divine way. Boy, I think everybody can use that card today. That kind of makes sense about what I talked about being human today, huh? Okay, so Bevan and Sunny, I hope those make sense for you. Now, I am feeling like I need to pull a card for everyone, and that is the Wisdom cards here. Wisdom of Avalon cards. And they ended up all over the floor. There we go. Woo! They are like, they literally ended up all over the floor. Perception. Huh. Perception. That is the one that fell out when I was doing all these. This one fell out. Perception. Perception. Oh, I like that card. think that's the card that they wanted me to get out. Okay, so perception. 42 equals 6. Perception. So this card is for everyone. You're welcome, Bev. Oh, you're welcome, Bev and Sunny. Sorry about that. 42. Okay, so this is a card for everyone. Whoever is watching. This is a universal card. Perception. This marker requires you to contemplate how you think. Let me start that over again. This marker requires you to contemplate how you look at the world. Through what eyes do you see? Do you peer through those of prejudice or judgment? Are you viewing your present circumstances by projecting your past? Ooh, that one's a big one. Are you viewing your present circumstance by projecting your past? Wow, that's a huge one. This is the time to slow down and observe from all angles. This calls for objectivity and a willingness to examine your life and others through a natural pair of eyes. Within you, awareness is transcending your ego's separation sense of self. Rise above it. See through your soul and know that things aren't always what they appear to be. This marker brings clarity and asks you to look and to wait. Perhaps all you need to do is to relax and put on another pair of glasses. Then what is in front of you might be magically transformed. Perception is everything. Take no further action until you know how this message applies to your current situation. Then once you've shifted your perception, you may find that this was all that you needed to do. Wow. Perception. And that's one thing I love about these cards, because all these cards have the same path, right? All have the same path, but it's all about perception. So you can have the perception of disruption. You can have the perception of letting go or love, right? So it's up to you on what perception you have for the path you have on your life. Pretty magical, pretty darn magical. And I'm grateful. I am grateful for everyone who wanted to watch today. I am grateful for my life. I am grateful for you. And if you would like any help doing a private session or a group mediumship session or even a class, I would be grateful to come and do that with you. Or we can do it over Zoom, or we can do it in person. So with that, please go to my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter, Angelic Clarifications. Please subscribe there because I'm doing a new series of Let's Get Tiggered, Not Triggered, only on my YouTube channel. Or you can follow me on my Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter page. And I'm also on Rumble, but I'm thinking about dropping that. Thank you all for being with me today. I am loving this moment of being able to be a voice for the universe of love, which is basically saying, be you because you're loved no matter what and who you are. Be kind to others. Have integrity about treating each other better, leaving everybody better than we can find them. And knowing that no matter where we're at, We're only going to be human doing the walk that we're walking. Blessings to you on your journey. And thank you, Veronica. We are grateful for you too. I'm grateful that you said that. I love you. And I love all. Blessings. See me next Monday when Regan and I talk about the other side of grief. 4 o'clock Pacific time. Same channels everywhere except for Instagram. You would have to go to my YouTube channel or my Facebook channel. And next Wednesday, I really don't know what I'm going to speak about yet. So blessings to you. Bye now.